Hey guys, welcome to my video. Once again, it's Christmas time. And if you're one of the 30 people who watched my video last year, or is it this year, rather, you'd know that I ranked a few different Christmas movies and told you which one I thought was the best. So this year I thought I'd do something similar. The only problem is that there aren't that many recent Christmas movies. So when it came to looking for it, I had to really search. It actually took me a really long time. But I was able to find some. In fact, I found 3. So I'm gonna look at those and rank them from worst to best. Last year, I crowned A Christmas Carol as the best Christmas movie, and I specifically mentioned 4, that being Mickey's Christmas Carol, Disney's Christmas Carol, The Muppet Christmas Carol, and 1951 Alistair Sim's Christmas Carol. So this year, I thought I would look for another Christmas Carol adaptation, see if I can maybe find a new best. The one I found was a Netflix adaptation called Scrooge. And before I actually watched it, I looked at some reviews, and the very first one said, it's close to unwatchable. And, yikes. Okay, let's first start off with the production, because that actually is really good. The animation is good, the shots look good, even the music I'd say is relatively well done. But everything else is not good. I actually had to beg my dad to watch it with me. And when we watched it, no joke, we actually had to skip through a few moments. Because it really is that awful. There are some okay moments, but it's mainly just bad. I was gonna play some clips, but I think the visuals are enough. I will tell you one thing. There is one thing they added to this movie that is so dumb that it actually requires a lack of creativity to make. Ebenezer Scrooge has a pet dog. Yeah. If the 4 versions I mentioned earlier are the most recommended, then this is the one I recommend the least. Last year I gave an honorable mention to the Nativity Story, but I couldn't review it because I hadn't seen it. So this year, I still haven't seen it, maybe next year, sorry, but I was able to find a biblical movie on Netflix called Mary that just came out. It was distributed by Netflix and produced by Joel Osteen. Starting off strong. So I actually had seen a lot of reviews on the internet, saying that it was pretty bad. But then again, I still wanted to see it for myself. But the more research I did, the more I realized how bad it was going to be. If you actually do your research, in the Bible, the only account we have of Mary is literally the moment Gabriel comes to talk to her about Jesus. This movie takes its info from the book that was rejected by many people because it's completely non-factual, the Gospel of James. So it's not looking too good. So I ended up watching it, and yeah, it's not good. First of all, the movie actually is very stunning. The directing is good, the shots are good, it's a very good looking movie. But other than that, it's very bland. The whole movie was just a bunch of moments that were completely non-factual, completely made up, and even when we got to the birth of Jesus, it was still very, very underwhelming. It wasn't until the end where it actually got hilariously bad. Especially the scene where Herod threatens a bunch of babies lined up in his throne room. I'm being serious. Not to mention the Romans going after Mary and Joseph like the ring race from Lord of the Rings. No, seriously, watch this.
Give us the child. If you want him, come and claim him.
Yeah. This movie also portrays Mary as a very important figure, and it actually hints at her having powers, so-called, in the movie, which is obviously not what it's about. And even when we get to Jesus, his birth is barely even about him, and it's mostly about Mary. Because that's what the Christmas story is about. The biggest problem with this movie is making it at all. Because Christmas isn't about Mary. It's about Jesus. I guess that embodies modern entertainment, doesn't it? I know what you're thinking. I'm not just going to be crapping on Christmas movies, because let's face it, there are a lot of good ones. Everywhere from Elf, to the Santa Claus movies, to the Home Alone movies. Well, at least the first 2. And I'm not going to be reviewing the other 4. Not now. Maybe next year. Add that to the list, I guess. Anyway, I actually did find one that I think is pretty decent. Not only that, it's actually surprisingly quite Christian, though that's not very surprising considering the fact that Dallas Jenkins worked on it. He's the creator of The Chosen. It's called The Greatest Christmas Pageant Ever. It's about Grace, who lives in a town where the pageant of Christmas is the most celebrated thing during Christmas time. Except, every year it's the exact same thing. It becomes dull, and even Grace's own daughter gets bored of it. So after the director of the pageant all of a sudden goes out of commission, Grace then volunteers to run it. That all goes downhill when the Herdmans, who everyone sees as the worst kids in town, come to be a part of it. And everyone in town is asking Grace to not let them be part of it and to kick them out. But Grace thinks that the kids deserve it just as much as any kid would, so she sticks with it. I actually really like this movie. It has some good comedy, it's very charming, and the ending I especially like. I won't give a lot away. What I will give away is that it ends with a portrayal of something I don't often see in a lot of Christmas movies, and that's a candlelight service. It really reminds me of me going to candlelight services every year, and the one I'm going to go to this Christmas Eve. It's very enjoyable. Right now, I think it's still in theaters, but at least where I am, it's not very available. But it is online to buy and to rent. To rent, it's about $24, and to buy, it's $28. So that was my dive into some Christmas movies. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider looking at my other stuff. Check out my Christmas video from last year, and check out my other editorial. I did one on Avatar, and I also made a little comedy skit back in, I think it was June, and I recently made a horror movie, so go check that out if you wish. And don't forget what the true meaning of Christmas is, and celebrate the birth of our Lord. And just have a great break. Have the time off, just relax.